The champ is here!
Oh, Lee.
Football.
Can't escape this bullshit.
ESPN, the global leader in sports.
Welcome to the Pop Fantasy Football 2021 Week 17 recap, brought to you by PanelsOnPages.com. I'm Jason Nyes, representing the 7th place Gotham Rogues, and joining me this week, representing the 10th place DK Metcast Winstonia, Jose Guzman.
Well, it probably wasn't necessary or professional.
Representing the 6th place Tell 'em Kelly Eats Band-Aids, Pop Fantasy Football, the Juan Commissioner, Dan Mahoney.
Dibs on Debo next year. Nobody else can have them. Sorry.
And our special guest this week, representing the 12th place Redeem These Nuts and the 2021 The Juan Champion, Kelly Harris.
I stopped building my robot to be here.
And finally,
The champ is here.
representing the 2021
This shit is
Pop Fantasy Football Champion, Brooklyn Dark Knights, Pop Fantasy Football Commissioner, Tito Cruz.
How did y'all fools let me win this? What the hell is wrong with y'all?
Ridiculous. What'd you finish? 3-11? Like, what was your record?
7-8, sir. 7-8.
King of Trash Mountain.
7-8.
Continues the streak, continues the pop streak. The better your record, the better chance you have of finishing 8th.
Well,
So you want to aim for
I'm
like
doing
that
great.
5-8 record next year.
I'm setting myself up for success. Is what I'm doing.
So the 2021 Pop Fantasy Football season has mercifully come to an end and will go down in history as one of the wildest seasons yet. So who is the champ? Who is the Juan? I think you already know that. Who took home a 2021 Pop Fantasy Football Award? All will be revealed, but first, let's send it over to Mahoney with our Week 17 scoreboard.
All right, so we're gonna recap the 2 games between our top 4 and our losing bracket, our Juan. Between who was up against you, Kelly? It's been so long,
Mel.
I've already forgotten. Mel.
Last year's number one. Last year's champ.
Yeah, he was risking going from first to last.
Oh my gosh, first to worst. Terrible.
I would have made sure I did it. Fuck it. Go on the record book.
Yeah,
No
I
quarterback.
wanted to send Mel a DM like, Mel, just sit your quarterback, man.
Yeah. No quarterback, no condom. Let's go.
I would have appreciated that.
No quarterback, no condom. All right. All right, so our championship game, Vetter and Tito. Now, Vetter had a heck of a week last week in the first round of the playoffs. But Tito, with his 7-8 record, coming out of nowhere, puts the beat down on him, 148.5 to 99.5.
Oof.
Listen,
Vetter's top scorer was his defense.
the
Oh.
MVP of my team going into the playoffs is fucking Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I picked
That
him
guy
up, I
opened some
picked him up
eyes.
the last week of the season, or the second to last week of the season, and rode him straight through.
Unbelievable. 31 points for you in the championship game.
He
Yeah,
is
he finished his little stint at night at the museum, and he came to play for me.
interesting to see where he goes next year.
Yeah.
If that continues, if the success continues.
My favorite thing about this game is, it's not a good thing when you're in the championship in your Pop Fantasy Football League and you have started Antonio Brown and you see him take off his shoulder pads and his jersey and fucking jumping jacks
Peace out.
off the field.
Yep.
Peace. I seriously, truly, honestly believe he thought it was the last game of the season.
I think
And
you
that
might be
this
right.
was it. Like, I am trying to get my bonus, and motherfuckers, you're not helping out. Like, this is all I got. And they're like, yo.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is trying to tell him, yo, there's 17 games.
There's an
this
extra
year. Calm
game
the
this
fuck down.
season,
He's like,
yo.
Stop making shit up, Mike Evans. 17 games. Wait, you going to tell me a unicorn is on the field too?
But
You know,
Not
I
this
think
good.
that's a solid theory. I think
These
that
clothes are hot.
yeah,
I think that legitimately might be what happened.
even
He
if
fucking
Antonio
pulled a
Brown
goddamn
stayed
Talladega
in the
Nights
game,
and left.
there wasn't no helping him.
No.
Tito
No.
drowned Vetter in a puddle.
It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
You know, he could have sat him and sat Mahoney's boy, Mike Williams, who scored 13.5 points.
Big deal. Wouldn't have done shit. That would have got him another 10. We would have beat him by 40.
Had he started Taysom Hill, he would have got an extra 6 points more than Jalen Hurts did. But
Still not enough.
yeah, it's still not enough. Well, I mean,
Well,
you even add up his starters and his bench, and it's still not enough.
Yeah.
And that's the best feeling you can have is, okay, I lost.
Right.
I made 0 mistakes no matter who I put in. He just outscored the points I had no matter what. And that's a good feeling.
Fair
But
and
like
square, yeah.
when you lose your championship game and you've been tinkering with your lineup and you had a guy in, you pulled the guy
And you're
out,
second
put the
guessing
guy
yourself.
in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then now the guy you just pulled 2 minutes before scores 40 points. The guy you put in for him hits you for 8. And now you're fucking frantic. Now you're pissed. Now you throw out your phone. Now it's football is fucking stupid.
Yep.
Antonio Brown's fucking naked. He's in my starting lineup. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, my top 2 draft picks came through with Devontae Adams and Najee Harris.
Well, Devontae doing what Devontae do.
Yep.
Dude's
I
been
don't-
a beast all season.
I don't think Rodgers is going anywhere.
I don't think so either.
No.
And if Rodgers doesn't go anywhere,
No, so-
Devontae doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So that might, you know what I mean? I mean, Devontae is, until dethroned, he's one of the top 3 badass, if not the best, wide receivers in the game.
Yeah.
Still playing in the playoffs. Not all the wide receivers can say that. I mean, some by choice, some by injury, some by just being on shitty teams, some by being on good teams that lost to a shitty team. Fucking Colts.
But not all receivers can say that they went viral when their Uber driver recorded a video of them being Ubered away from the stadium in the middle of the game.
Not all of them can say they were hanging out with Hook.
Yeah.
That's
like,
very
who do you
true.
want to be?
And when-
You want to be Devontae Adams, or do you
Yeah.
want to be viral on TikTok because you're in an Uber driving away in the third quarter? Huh?
Well,
Like, which one?
Hanging out in the
keep
champagne
in
room with
mind-
Hook.
Yeah.
it does come with Nets tickets.
Yeah. He got to go to the Nets game.
You got to hang out with Hook.
That's cool. I don't know who Hook is, but he sounds rad. He sounds like a biker.
Yeah, you'd love him, Mahoney.
Yeah, I
Fucking-
think
I
you'd really
doubt it.
like Hook.
I did not care for the movie Hook, so I'm not
Hook
sure I
and
like the
Rufio.
person
What?
Hook.
With Robin Williams?
Get out of
Yeah.
here.
The fuck out.
That movie scared the shit out of me as a kid, and I recognize
Scared?
that there is nothing in that movie to be scared of. But I was fucking terrified of that movie.
Then it did its job.
Yeah, I don't know why.
They stick
So
Glenn
even as
close
an
enough.
adult, can you not appreciate the greatness of it?
I have no idea. I'm never watching that again. Are you kidding me?
Oh no, we're watching it.
Are you kidding
Halloween.
me? Never.
Hook, greatest Halloween movie ever
Nope.
made.
I don't need that trauma. Back in
Send
my
Hook to Mahoney's house.
life. All right. Speaking of trauma, let's talk about our consolation game, which is Tad and Matt. Now, Matt, let's talk about Joe Burrow for a second. Joe Burrow and Jamar
Joe
Chase.
Shiesty.
Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase this week, the second round of the playoffs. 49.5 points for Jamar Chase, 42 points for Joe Burrow. What a combination.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, that's a league-winning combination right there. That wins you the championship. If you got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in this second week of the playoffs, odds are you won your championship.
And
Unless-
sometimes even one or the other. But
Yeah,
the
even if
combo
you
of
just
both,
had the one.
that
The
defeats the
combo, you could beat anybody. Somebody could put up 148.5 points, and you could still knock them off and take the championship. Unless you didn't start Joe Burrow in the first round of the playoffs and didn't make it to the winner's bracket. And then you find yourself with 149.5 points, 1 point more than Tito, just enough to beat Tito, but you don't get to play Tito because for whatever reason, last week you were like, I don't need to start Joe Burrow. I don't even remember who Matt started the week before, but epic screw up, Matt. You could have had the
Was
belt.
it Cousins?
Kirk Cousins. Get out of here.
Making subs.
Ridiculous.
So he scored 49.5 points with 0 points from his tight end.
Been there.
Dawson Knox.
Dawson
Which is
Knox got
why-
0 points.
That Dawson got 0 because
Yeah.
he had that injury, but outside of that, he was a beast.
2.5 points out of Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah, what
That
a hell of
hurts.
a week.
That hurts. Is Elliott and Chubb let you down if you were counting on them in your championship game?
Yeah. So-
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, Matt. It's gonna be a long winter. Long winter, long summer. Thinking about how one mistake kept you from the championship.
Winter cometh.
Yep. So, third place is a cool spot. You get like a really low draft pick and no accolades. So, that's fine. But I'd rather come in third than come in last, Kelly.
Yeah, who would do that?
Let's talk about your game. So Kelly and Mel in
Our
the
champion last year.
our champion last year. Somehow Mel goes all the way down from first place last year to the Juan game this year, playing against Kelly to determine who is the loser of losers.
And, he had the last draft pick because that's how it goes, but it's not like he drafted badly.
No,
He's got a
he had
solid team.
He had an unlucky year.
He had an unlucky year.
Yeah. Your team was a bit of a mess. Mel had an unlucky year. Your team, you can't look at your draft and be like, "What a success!" You draft most of your players based on their name or their picture.
Hey,
Yeah. It
sometimes
works.
that works out though. Like-
Did it work out? Are we going to argue that worked out?
The year it would have worked out, somehow somebody talked him to trading all his players to him.
Very true.
So I mean that draft was pretty solid, but somebody
That was a solid
got
draft.
hornswoggled and ended up
That-
with his whole lineup.
That draft did very well for the person who wound up with all.
And
those
then I
players.
redrafted those players this year, and they all sucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't
Hey.
do that.
But this year ain't last year,
Mm-mm.
and this year won't be next year. So be careful on how you draft. Let's see where Russell Wilson's at because DK Metcalf killed me. And then of course I said him fucking 2 weeks in a row, and then that third week
That's
he
when he
just
doesn't work.
blows up. Like he put up like almost 40, 30.
Ridiculous.
I
Dude.
wish we had a minute-by-minute breakdown of the matchup between Mel and Kelly.
This
But-
matchup is potentially one of the most wild things I've ever seen in fantasy football.
Yeah, we're all kind of just watching it. Oh shit! Kelly, fuck, no, Kelly, Kelly, you did it! Oh no, Kelly, you lost it! Oh, Kelly, you pulled it off!
So, who was the player playing on Mel's team the last game?
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay.
Deontay Johnson, right.
the
Because
Pittsburgh
Kelly
wide
had Baker
receiver.
Mayfield,
Yep.
and then no. Oh yeah.
He had Baker
Yeah.
and
Yeah, but Baker's the one that killed it for him because
Right,
he
right.
was up by 1.
Yeah.
And
No, it was just
Baker,
Baker.
No,
it was
no,
just
it
Baker, yeah.
It was
Stupid
the
yeah,
bitch
Pittsburgh
threw an
Cleveland
interception.
game.
yeah,
And
Baker
they were
versus-
close going into it. Kelly was
And
losing,
what's-
but they were close.
Beautiful was they were also playing in real life.
Right.
Yeah.
It was
Those
just
two games, those two
perfect
teams
storm.
playing each other. Yeah. It was Monday, right? Wasn't it the Monday night
It was
game?
a
Yes.
Monday night game. Yep.
Yeah.
It was
Last
Monday
game of
because
the
I was
season.
watching wrestling while you guys were all telling me what was happening.
Oh,
He said, "What? There's fucking football on tonight."
unbelievable. So, correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while. I'm pretty sure Baker Mayfield had 0 points at the half. Is
Yeah,
that
I
not
think he had
is that
0
true?
Sounds
points
about right.
going into the
Or like-
fourth, maybe.
2.5 or something.
Yeah.
Like Baker Mayfield looked like he was about to just like I was like, is he in the game? Like, is he playing? What's going on? And so I'm like, Kelly, things are not looking good. But then Baker comes out of the locker room at halftime feeling dangerous, starts scoring points, and with what was it? There was less
like a
than 20
minute.
seconds left.
Yeah.
There was like 15 seconds left, maybe even 10 seconds left. And Baker Mayfield scores, does something, throws a pass. I don't know. Kelly goes up by 1 point. It's 104 to 103 in favor of Kelly. And I'm like, Kelly, that's it. Like, Mel's not getting the ball back. Everything's fine. Like, you did it.
But Mel said, I don't need the ball
15
back.
seconds left in this game, and he's not getting the ball back. And one of us goes, well, yeah, as long as Baker doesn't throw an interception. And then we all kind of sucked our breath in, and Baker promptly threw an interception with 10 seconds left, which in our league is negative 2 points, and dropped Kelly from 104 to 102. And that's where it ends. 103 for
Yay.
Mel, 102 for Kelly.
Goddamn Baker.
He did it. He baked a cake.
Just all he had to do was fucking not throw just hold on to the ball.
Yeah,
Don't
you're not
even
gonna
throw it.
win.
Who cares?
You're not gonna win. They were down by 10 at that point, or 12.
Yeah, they're down by 12 with 10 fucking seconds left. What is he
He's going
doing?
for that 12-pointer.
Yeah, I gotta
guess.
go for the 12-point conversion.
Rock
Thought
and
this
jock.
was Rock and Jock.
He was like, no, it's okay. I'm in the on fire circle.
Yeah.
It's worth double. I get 14 for this. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if Mel was watching live, but if he was, he probably jumped up in the air
Yeah.
like it was the Super Bowl.
And this was after, you remember, we were pumping Kelly up, trying to, Kelly's our boy. Not that Mel isn't our boy, but, trying to give Kelly some pointers, maybe give him some advice going into the last game. And it was all down to, what quarterback do I start?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, Baker Mayfield seems all right. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, your options at quarterback were just absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Every choice was garbage. And the one that you would have won if you went with this guy, but it was a long shot Hail
Trey
Mary
Lance.
throw anyways. Jose grabbed him and took him. So
What?
You wouldn't have been able to-
No, I gave Kelly way more.
you gave Kelly plenty of time to.
I
make
did.
the
I
change.
made that move like a half hour before the game started.
I'll also note that name was never brought up to me as someone that I should have looked at.
No, that's not true.
It was
That's not
true,
true.
brought
I
up.
No,
suggested him to you, but then
And that's why I'm
everybody
saying,
else
like,
was
he brought him up and was
stick with
like,
Baker.
play him. And it's like a half hour left, and then I see the guy I'm starting a quarterback isn't even fucking playing. Cam Newton. I'm kind of back.
What?
I
Huh?
said I'm kind of back when he scored that touchdown.
Oh.
He's like, I'm back.
I got
I'm
you.
kind of back.
I gotcha.
Yeah, he's gonna be back
Well, yeah.
next year. I'll tell you that much.
Kind of back here on the bench.
It's a wild season.
All right, but I'll also say in my defense, that was a lot of messages about football to try and read.
Sure.
That was a lot of.
No, I get it. But we know that we were talking about it on the show before the championship week, and I'm just like, he doesn't listen to this, so we got to tell him in
I
person.
sure don't.
All
I
right,
listen
well,
to like a podcast over the course of 2 weeks, so it doesn't. I can't listen to a weekly one.
yeah, I get it. I don't listen to us either. All right, well,
Only live.
Tito has our final standings following week 17.
All right, so this is our final standings rankings 1 through 12, with Kelly here getting our first overall draft pick next year. So congratulations, Kelly.
Nice.
All right.
You're
Did it.
officially on the clock.
Who are you taking?
Debo.
Who's that? Who's that? Yeah, Debo. There we go. I was gonna say, who's that
Son of a
guy I
bitch.
drafted 2 years in a row that sucks?
You better
Dalvin
not
Cook?
take Debo.
Dalvin Cook.
There we go. Yeah, I'll draft Dalvin's stupid ass. again.
Debo Cook.
All right, with the second pick in next year's draft, Mel Jose, you have the 3rd pick in the draft.
Ridiculous.
Mary's coming in 4th
Yeah, I had to
Go.
get out of the middle.
with the 5th pick. Nyes with the 6th pick.
Dead center.
Yeah, I hate the middle. Mahoney with 7.
Mm-hmm.
Juan with 8. Tad with 9. 10, our former champ, Matt. 11
No,
will
Mel was
be
the former champ.
Well, he's a former champ
Excuse
from
me.
a few years ago.
right. Vetter's coming in with the 11th pick, and I'll have the last pick in the draft. Now,
Suck it,
Well, if
Tito.
we're,
Very
going,
quickly.
if we're going by that, reintroduce me as former champ too. Come on now.
when I do it again next year, I'll introduce you as former champ. One thing very quickly in the standings. If you look at my points for, my points against,
Wow.
I scored 1,518 points, and the points against are 1,545 points. Pointing out once again how ridiculous it is that I won.
Yeah, pretty stupid.
Yeah, I think we should veto the whole thing.
Yes.
Hey,
Start
it's-
all over.
Yeah.
It's tradition.
Redraft.
It's tradition. Look at them records of the champs. He's
I'll
just
tell you
following
right now.
tradition.
I'm gonna say this out loud, Jose. I'm gonna put this into the universe.
Do
You
it.
having the 3rd pick in the draft is terrible news for all the rest of us.
Why? What happened? Hey, this is the first time I'm not sandwiched between Tito and Mahoney. It's gonna be interesting.
Hey, you're
I
right.
know. Yeah,
I'm gonna
you're,
snake all the picks you want, Jose.
You are definitely not snaking any of the picks that Jose wants. He's essentially got the 2nd pick in the draft. It's going to be a nightmare for all of us. Jose puts together a strong draft in the middle of the draft. I don't want him drafting 3rd.
This is gonna be cool.
Ugh.
See, but here's what's cool. So Tito's gonna have the belt. We're gonna do Toy Fair next year. I'll come up there. I'll grab the belt from him. You know, we'll make the exchange nice. Take some
Yeah.
pictures.
Start carving his name in it.
Dun dun dun.
Ridiculous. And then me, who was purposely trying to lose my way to the high draft pick, just
We just
couldn't
kept on
do it.
fucking
Now
winning.
I'm 7th.
Why didn't you
Well, I
drop
drafted
all your
seven.
good players so I could take them?
I dropped like every player I had. I did drop all my good players.
He
He
just
dropped
kept
every good
failing
player
out.
that ESPN would allow him to drop.
Yeah. I didn't drop Debo. You're not getting Debo. I'll take him to my
You-
fucking grave.
Why wouldn't you give me Debo?
Kelly, you can't have Debo.
I want Debo.
You had your chance.
You got the first pick, dude. Don't let Mahoney tell you who you can get. You get who the fuck you want. Your first pick. You're top
I
shit.
called
You're
dibs.
king
I
dog.
called dibs on Debo in the intro. Remember?
Yeah,
I
he
called
get
dibs.
it's like an extra draft pick for him.
Yeah.
I thought about it before the rest of us.
Yeah, but if you're driving the car and somebody calls shotgun, if you drive off before he gets in the car, that shotgun call means shit.
I believe that's
just
a federal offense. I think you go to jail. That's jail time.
For not honoring the shotgun.
Yeah,
You get
you
pulled
know what?
over.
If someone calls shotgun and you drive off, arrested. You go to prison.
Officer, this man did not honor shotgun. Not only did he not honor it, he fucking left me.
Drove away. Yeah, jail. You don't even see a judge. They put you in like Guantanamo.
Kelly.
Yes,
Draft who you want.
I want to draft Debo.
Don't you dare.
I fucking dare you to.
Well, Mahoney, you can't control who Kelly drafts number
We'll see.
one, but you do control what his punishment is as last place, known as the Juan. So
That is very
It's a
true. When do
fucking
we want to do
award-winning
his punishment? Are we doing
segue
that
right
now?
there.
Are we doing that now?
yeah,
Kelly, you ready to hear your
You
punishment?
just fucking hit that sweet ass segue. Dude.
Well, you know, just because
That's award winning. That was
fucking
an Emmy nominated segue.
Stomp on the
got the no
segue.
look pass down doesn't mean I'm waiting for it. It's bouncing off my face.
Yeah, you just threw a
Magic
basketball
Johnson
straight
just
in your face.
passing. And he's like, "What? The game's on?"
All right. So the power of the wand commissioner is very. It's a burden. It's a glorious purpose, right? No one enjoys having to punish their friends. It's certainly not something that I look forward to all year.
No,
That would
it's the
be
Uncle Ben speech.
ridiculous. But what I like to do, Kelly, is I like to give you two options. If you recall, when Vetter, when he came in last, I gave him two options. He could either shave his beard off and mail it to Mary, or give his son up for adoption. So I like to give two options so that you can choose between, one that's like bad and one that's like maybe a little bit worse.
Man, you could get rid of a kid and have an excuse? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like Goat. If Goat had lost and been the one this year, I would have made him give his child to Tito.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had my spotter.
Yeah. They have
No shit,
similar
you saw
body
that yoke
types.
baby? You can't talking him into going to nowhere. You better ask him where he
That
wants to
baby
go.
goes wherever the fuck he wants. Goat's baby could kick the shit out of me. It's the strongest person I've ever seen.
I've never seen a baby with traps before.
He's got
He
abs.
has abs. The baby has abs.
Legitimate abs. I was amazed. I was like, God damn.
Like, I was kind of like, let's see that dick. What's going on?
That
that's
baby
inappropriate.
looks
Say
like
that.
an bouncer.
Yeah,
You
Goat's-
can't have
Goat's baby
your
right
baby
back.
dick.
Your Honor would like to strike that from the records.
All right,
Goat's
so
baby's
Kelly,
giving Instagram advice on fitness advice on Instagram.
you've got your two options for the Juan punishment this year. Again, one kind of bad, one slightly worse.
Steal a baby.
Last year, when we transitioned from the award being the Kerouac to the Juan, it was in honor, of course, of Juan. And so I feel it's only fitting that as one of your options, you can choose to live as the Juan for a year. So you can just, until the end of next season, you just live as Juan would live. So, chicken nuggets every meal and, you got to pledge to some Kickstarters. Things like that. Things of that nature.
I do like chicken nuggies.
You do like chicken nuggies. And then your other option is we can just completely banish you from the league, gone forever, with no hope of any return.
I can be free?
No, you're not free. You're banished.
So I can go?
No, you can't. No, it's not.
you're
not
being
free,
forced out.
Kelly.
I
Yeah,
can
you're-
finally be free?
They're like,
No,
"Wait,
it's not a freedom thing. It's
I can
banishment.
do it.
It
It's
comes with-
fine.
it
You
comes-
guys, I've been
It comes,
wanting
no,
this.
Kelly, it's
for
shame-
years.
It's shame and embarrassment. It's
I
not a
can
freedom
finally. Yes, I'm exile. I'm
No.
picking exile. I'm gone.
Mahoney, don't you remember at the beginning of the season, Kelly said if he came in last place, he was
Oh,
quitting the league? You're just
This is
making
everything
this
I
come true.
wanted.
And I
Well, this is
said,
not good.
well, you can't see the picture here, but I said veto.
Oh, I can just go. I can go back to building my robot. I don't have to worry about Sundays. I don't have to have fucking Matthew Berry telling me some stupid shit coming out of his dumb shit face.
Okay.
You don't
okay,
have to
but-
remember who Matthew Berry is.
I don't have to
Chicken
remember who
nuggets,
Matthew
Kelly.
Berry is. I don't have to remember that Tiki Barber doesn't play football anymore.
Kelly, chicken
but he
nuggets.
But I
does,
can't.
Kelly.
He does. What?
What about the nuggets?
I would have drafted him if I could have.
The cheeky
So no,
nugs.
I'm
Yeah, but
kidding.
how are you supposed to be taking Debo Samuel next year?
I don't have to anymore.
No, you
I
must.
can just go put myself in a notebook and have a team, and it just says Tiki Barber and 4 kickers, and that's it. And I can just play by myself, and I'll win. I'll be the winner every year,
Every week.
every week.
I don't think
I'm
this is
out.
going the way we hoped.
This
Oh,
is not exactly.
I'm
what I was
leaving.
planning.
This is great.
It's not supposed to be a freedom
Guys,
thing, Kelly. It's a
fuck you.
punishment. It's
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You are.
Not you, Jason Nyes. You don't change a bit. Maybe tell your wife to stop with the NFTs. I don't know. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm out.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Did he just hang up?
He legitimately
No,
hung
he's
up.
out.
He's out.
He fucking put the ring on and disappeared.
All right. Well, I feel bamboozled.
Can't
No.
believe you let this happen.
He was supposed to take the chicken nuggets.
You made that sound real appealing too.
You gave him the choice of being Juan
Yeah.
and not playing fantasy football.
Or the thing he
Well-
wants most in life. I thought this was supposed to be punishments. You're not a fucking genie. You're over here
I
granting
feel-
wishes.
Well, this is not good. Next year we're giving away a child. Next year, you come in last. Next year, you have to raise Goat's yoked baby. Okay, so
If you come in last, Goat's Yoke Baby's going to your house and giving you a beatdown. That's
Yeah.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah, try explaining that one when you're on TikTok getting the shit beat out of you by a fucking swole like Billy Joel 8-month-year-old.
like that tiny little Middle Eastern guy, just kicks the shit out of everybody.
Just be like, why is this baby beating me, and why is he covered in egg yolks? He's yoked.
Egg yolks, because he's yoked,
Well,
and also protein.
that was unfortunate, Mahoney.
That did not go as planned. I was thinking though, on the fly, that I can go ahead and take that first draft pick if that's going to be a problem.
I
No,
think this is
Only,
your
only
mess.
if you pick up Christian McCaffrey again.
Ah,
Yeah.
there we go.
I'm definitely not doing that.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. You're going to have to take Christian McCaffrey. You're going to have to take Cam Newton, your second pick.
Cam Newton.
Don't worry. We'll set you out.
All right,
All right,
well,
we'll figure out what to do about Kelly leaving. That was unexpected, but we'll figure that out.
I didn't expect Kelly to just peace out on us.
Yeah, we
like
finally
that.
got him on the show, and he was like, "No, fuck that." He said, "I can go."
But
I'm gone.
we did prepare some end of the year awards, so I mean, I guess we might as well just keep going. I mean, just sally
We're
forth.
through.
Try not to feel feelings. So
No.
stop laughing at yourself. All right, well, Tito, you got our first award.
So our first award this year is to the best draft. So top to bottom, your first players out the gate. So we're going to go with Matt's Shelbyville Sharks as the winner this year.
Let's take a
Yeah.
look at this
That was a great
draft here.
draft.
So his first round pick was at number 11, and he picked Ezekiel Elliott. Great at number 11.
Yeah.
But look at his second round pick at number 14, Jonathan Taylor, the guy who led the league in
Yeah,
rushing.
no shit. So even if he took Jonathan Taylor early and took Ezekiel second, it's still balanced out.
Yep.
So what sets Matt's draft apart of everybody else is he drafted Joe Burrow on the 5th round. Now he is a bit of a homer. He's a Bengals fan, so that's why he went there. But his 9th round pick of Jamar Chase is insane.
Mhm.
Yeah. That one
Okay.
really worked out for him.
Now going into the draft, Jamar Chase during the preseason there were some questions about him
Fumbled.
dropping. Yeah, he was
Butterfinger.
dropping a lot of balls. He was like they were throwing him the ball, he kept dropping, he couldn't catch shit. And then all of a sudden the season started and he said, "Okay, these games count now. Okay, now I'll start catching everything."
But that
That's
was a brilliant
exactly what he did.
sucker every defense for a full year.
Yeah.
Is let me just drop these passes in preseason. Oh, look at me, Butterfingers. Meanwhile, then he's like, douche, because everyone's played him like, this dude can't even catch. I don't need to guard him. And all of a sudden, burnt, touchdown, burnt.
And that's not to mention that Mike Evans was his 4th round pick, who had 1,000 yards receiving this year.
Who he traded to me. I thought that was last season, but no, it was this season.
He traded him for who? The Jacobs from
Yeah.
Vegas. Right?
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
So he top to bottom had a very good job. I mean, but that Jamar Chase pick
He's like-
at 9 is insane.
Yeah, he
The only
drafted
team
the
to have-
Ravens defense before Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only team to have like 80% of who he drafted by the end of the season. Still.
Yeah. Who can blame him?
Which respect. I mean, if you drafted winners and you're fucking winning, there's no reason to stop winning.
Yeah. Regular
Don't-
season
you
you
don't
only
mix
lost
it up.
twice. To
And I
me.
think he dropped Joe Burrow and picked him back up at some point.
No,
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe that was last year where he was kind of juggled.
No. It drafted 59th overall, and that's the only transaction for Joe Burrow.
Okay.
I think you're thinking of Aaron Rodgers last season. Well, congrats, Matt. That was a great draft. Didn't quite make it to the championship, but
Yeah, if only you had stuck with the people who brought you to the dance.
oh. All right. Next up, Stud of the Year. And this award, unsurprisingly, goes to Cooper Kupp from Tad's The Earls of Risk.
I'm a stud.
And since Tad can't be here tonight, I will be accepting on his behalf for Cooper Kupp. Look at this fucking stud. Look at that face, man. Sharp beard.
Drafted in the 4th round.
Holy shit.
Which is wild.
Average points 21.
Breaking records.
Nuts.
Him and Devontae going early next year.
He had 1 week in single digits, week 4.
Ooh, does Cooper Kupp replace Hill's spot next year?
Replace who?
Tyreek Hill's spot? Because usually it's Devontae, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Tyreek.
You know what I mean? Like the first 2 wide receivers off the board, usually Devontae, Tyreek.
Not quite the stud this year, Tyreek, but he put up some big numbers for me. But
Well, they kind of figured out the Chiefs. Like everyone
Yeah.
kind of figured them out. Is
They started playing too deep. You play too deep. You take away the deep threat, which was Hill, essentially.
all right, Jose, you got the next award?
why not? Fuck it. Let's do this, motherfucker. Dud of the year goes to, which at the time looked like could have been the steal of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Christian McCaffrey going in the 5th pick to Mahoney's Tell Him Kelly Eats Band-Aids, which could have been the steal.
I
Of
was
the
so
draft.
happy in that moment.
And I was
so
6th.
pleased. Yeah.
It would have went to me. I'd be winning this award. But instead, I'm handing it to you.
I was very pleased. And I was even extra pleased to be like, haha, I took him away from Jose.
Mhm.
So he played in 7 games. 2 of those games he left early because he got injured. So, look, 21 and a half, 21 and a half,
Oh
4.
my God.
12, 20, 20 and a half, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So
when he
when
was
dude
on, he
plays,
was fucking
He
on.
plays, yes.
He just can't stay on the field.
Nope.
And is this going to
That's
be
2 years in a row. That's 2 years in a row at this point. So, like, how do you have any... Like, this is like a Saquon situation where, you know, fool me 1 year, shame on me. Fool me 3 years in a row. Like, fuck
Mhm.
out of here. No thanks.
So does McCaffrey even touch the 1st round next year?
I have no intention. If I'm picking... What am I picking? 7th? If he's there at 7, I'm not taking him.
I can definitely
Yeah.
possibly see him maybe slip into the 2nd round in our league next
I
year.
would maybe take him at like 11 or 12 or like in the...
That might be a
like,
steal.
But, I mean...
Because could you imagine taking McCaffrey at 12th and he fucking stays on the field the whole season?
Yeah, that'd be great, but like, what are the odds? You know, like,
2-time dud of the year.
yeah,
Well, maybe just hope he's hurt in the beginning of the season this time.
yeah.
He gives you playoff minutes.
Well, plus the problem with McCaffrey is when he gets hurt, that whole team just falls apart. So as the season's going on, you're looking at the Carolina record, and you're like, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
Why would
The
he come back?
urgency to come
Yeah.
back and be productive is just not
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Oh, you want me to come back, fucking rehab from this injury, possibly injure myself again to hit that fucking 9th spot?
right, exactly.
To hit that, like, maybe in the hunt for being in the hunt for the wild card?
Right. So it's just, it's
And the
Disappointing.
Panthers already put it out there that they're willing to shop him around.
yeah.
So maybe, could you imagine him going to like anywhere almost ready? He's going to Tampa.
Oh my God.
I mean, he goes to
Who are we
Tampa, then maybe I'll
fooling?
draft
He's
him
going
at
to
7.
Tampa. Because then he wouldn't have to be the man.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
he still have Fournette.
He's just a role player at that point.
Oh my God! Could you imagine Fournette and McCaffrey on the field at the same time? Who are you going to guard? Oh my God!
Does the NFL
Break-
have a salary cap?
No, there's a salary cap, but it's just all how you structure your deals. Like Brady structured all his shit in bonuses, so he got a low salary, didn't affect the cap much, but he got bonuses, which is money that has nothing to do with the cap.
Right. I don't know a lot
That's how
about
you
the
get paid.
NFL salary cap, but I know it is basically made up. You can do anything you want to get under that
You
cap.
could always
Yeah.
manipulate. You know who would benefit from McCaffrey? The Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Oof.
He looks like a
Oof.
bill.
Bill
Bill
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey. Ah!
Congrats, you got a new name, Bill.
And congrats on being a 2-time dud of the year.
You guys done of the year that we're debating if we even want to draft you next year. Congratulations.
I'll tell you what, though, he falls to me in the 5th round. I'm taking him.
Oh,
well, yeah,
for
the
sure.
5th round, sure. By then, you barely even know the names of the people you're looking at. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Jose with the statement of the year. He falls to the 5th round. I'm grabbing him.
I think, you know what?
You
I think
take
we should
that
make
to
a
the
pact.
bank?
As a league, let's make a pact that no one drafts Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh, and then it just becomes a fucking waiver wire battle.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Ooh, how about this? McCaffrey is deactivated next year from our league. He's not even draftable.
I think that there's,
Pickable. Waiver
there's a
wireable.
solid chance he will be deactivated
Yeah.
next year in our league.
All right,
Probably
Mahoney, what do we
week
got
3,
next?
Week 4. All right, next up, our next award is for Sleeper of the Year. Now, I think a strong case for Sleeper of the Year could have been made for Debo, so I'm tempted to just give this award to myself.
No, you
But
can't do that.
instead, since I have been instructed that I cannot do that, I will give this award to Matt for his pickup of Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Averaged 14.9 points a game. Started out hot, straight out game 1 with 101 yards receiving and a touchdown, so for 18.5 points. Then went 12, 20, 10, 24, 11, 30. Had 201 yards receiving that game with that 30-point game.
And you thought
had-
he couldn't do better than that.
And had a few, okay games to bad games, like 10.5, 5, 10.5, 4.5.
Well, didn't Burrow miss a game or two?
Yes, so he lost Burrow somewhere in there. But then look, that week 17 game against Kansas City, which
Jesus.
49.5 points. So 11
Unreal.
receptions, 266 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
It's like, guard him. Like, fucking put everyone on him. Guard him. After 150, like, guard him. What are we doing, folks?
I like that he went 49.5 in week 17 and then 3 in week 18. Did they sit him?
Probably.
No,
Probably.
yeah, they probably did because Burrow
I
didn't
think
play.
they were,
Burrow
yeah.
didn't play either.
Because
they
what
were
it was
the
is
lock.
they were in. No matter if they win or lose, they're where they want to be. They're fine. So Burrow was dealing with that finger issue, and you know what, I'm taking his knee out right before the playoffs. And
Mm-hmm.
Jamar Chase, they probably played a series, the opening series, cut a pass, went out of bounds, never came back on the field.
He made it sound like he went out of bounds and just kept going. Like
Took his
Forrest
shirt off,
Gump.
took his
He pulled
pads
Antonio
off,
Brown. Got into an Uber, went to the Nets game.
told him fire up your fucking Insta, fucking every media, Graham.
Did you guys hear that shit about the OnlyFans model that he snuck into the team hotel the night before? And then
Just had him a week.
she tested positive for COVID?
All right.
Shit's wild. All right, Tito, what do we got next?
Next award, worst team name of the year.
This is a fun one every year.
Yeah, there was a couple of contenders. This year.
Always.
But our winner this year is Vetter, or Cimmerian Anvils of Crom.
No, it's Cinnamon Anvils of Crumb.
Terrible name. He's explained it. He's like, no, it's not a terrible name. It's
Like,
got to do with Conan.
We get that it's
like,
Conan.
We get it. It sucks.
No, not that Conan sucks, but it just does not roll off the tongue.
No, it's a terrible name.
Not for nothing. Close second, Jose DK Metcalf Winstone.
No, that name's fine. That name's
Especially
very
after you drop James Winston.
fine.
And
Well, he
DK
fucking
Metcalf.
died. So he was going to get dropped eventually. It was just in the cards.
There was one that Ted had early in the season before he was the Earls of Risk that was a real contender, but I can't even remember it at this point.
I don't remember it either.
And Juan's team name of
See, but Juan makes his team names bad on purpose because he wants us to read something stupid on the air.
Which is
Vetter was like, "This is a clever name. People will enjoy this."
everyone likes Conan. Everyone loves cinnamon anvils of crumb.
I don't even know what it means.
Well,
Like,
I'm assuming
Cimmeriania is where he's from.
Yeah, and like
Right.
there's
What
an
the fuck is
anvil.
the anvil? And the anvil of Crom, like it just doesn't make any sense at all.
Crom is like their god, I think, like by Crom.
So he's like his anvil. He strikes motherfuckers down.
Who knows? Need to sleep just thinking about it.
Oh my god. Next up, the second annual Mitchell Trubisky You Tried Award goes to Juan Davila for getting 5th place after getting last place last year.
He tried.
Hey, he's moving up. Moving up. That's all you can do. He is try not to finish worse than what you did the year before.
Knocking on the door of the playoffs.
He was
Uh-oh.
remember the last game of the season, he was in risk of going to the losers bracket, and he ended up winning the irrelevant championship, beating out all of us in the middle of it.
But he got bit by the injury bug. He had Kamara. Kamara was out. He took Kamara.
Oh,
he
his
passed on
experience was
McCaffrey.
unique, is what you're saying. We all felt the injury bug this year,
Yeah.
Yeah, no
and the
shit.
COVID bug.
He felt the injury bug and dropped Russell Wilson.
Well,
And then
picked
got him
up
back.
to play you.
Yeah.
and beat you.
Enjoy that one higher draft pick than you should have had.
Oh, that's why you didn't want to go over all of the games from the last week of the season. I see now.
Oh, to avoid that
I see.
one. So
All right.
The fans at home don't know about that one, huh?
Getting into the home stretch, Jose, what do we got next?
We got that fake crime of the year. We talked about it earlier. This one goes to exiled by
The Dark Prince.
unlikely wish granted by the genie,
Yeah.
Kelly.
I thought the man would just eat some chicken nuggets.
It was like a reverse monkey's paw.
Yeah. He said, I am out. Be careful what you banish me for.
The monkey's paw gave you the finger and bounced.
Kelly taking in the wand in the final seconds of the final game of the final second.
Yeah.
Fucking Baker.
Did not expect that game to be so exciting as it pertains to fantasy football implications, but boy, was it.
Mhm.
When Baker played like shit for that entire first half, you kind of threw up your hands and you're like, all right, it's not going to happen and Kelly's going to lose. And then he hits those 2 touchdowns.
You start getting hope.
And then he throws that bomb and Kelly goes up with a minute left. And then he fucking throws an interception.
He did just enough to make it hurt.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah. Because if it's a blowout, you're like, well, fuck, nothing I
Yeah.
could have done.
like Kelly had resigned himself to like, yeah, whatever, I lose. Oh well. And then Baker Mayfield had to step in and be like, no, don't worry. I'll save you. And Kelly was like, yeah? And he was like, psych, no, I won't.
It's kind of like the fucking Chargers, who if they just fucking spiked the ball and dealt
they
with
called
the tie.
they called a
Called a
timeout.
They
Right.
called the timeout that let them have the
Right.
opportunity. If they would have just fucking just chilled,
Yep.
they were going to
That
let
was
it run out.
stupid.
But at the
that's
same
fire
time-
coach moment.
The Chargers as a team should never have been in that position at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. As
so
an
that's kind of
organization.
on them. Even though, like, yes, they still could have made it in the last minute. That team should have been in a lock for the playoffs, no matter how that game went. So that's kind of a disappointing season for them guys, because Herbert was putting up some numbers, Eckler put up some numbers, Mike Williams put up some numbers.
Who?
All right, Mahoney, take us home.
All right. So, well, this is ironic. So our 2021 Pop Fantasy Football Hall of Fame inductee goes to a there since the beginning, always can count on him.
Our
year
first
in,
ever
year out.
champion.
Former champion. Did you say he was a champion? Was he a champion?
The first
Yeah.
year of Pop Fantasy Football. He's the,
The
Dark
first
Prince.
ever champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the inaugural.
that-
For my
Listen,
time, even.
that does not count.
Oh, was this was a previous
That
football
was
league?
when there was like only like 4 people who were actually in the pop boards on that league. That was
Ooh.
Well, he
Grubbing
still was a
records.
champion. He was apparently a champion.
And
I don't
who
know, I
is
wasn't
it?
around. It's Kelly. It's Kelly.
Oh my
Who
god.
just
What a
left.
way to go out.
Yeah, welcome to the Hall
Definitely
of
put
Fame,
it
Kelly.
I went to the Hall of Fame, picked up an OnlyFans,
Oh my god.
TikTok
Listen.
some shit.
Let me give you some stats for Kelly real quick.
Do
His
it.
overall record, not including this year, his overall record is 66-60-1.
That's not
He's
bad.
made 4
Interesting.
playoff appearances and has 4 top 3 finishes. The league's been around for not counting this year because this year hasn't been populated in there. So that's in 9 seasons. He has 4 top 3 finishes.
Well,
Not
you know
bad.
what? Then you're welcome, everyone else, for driving him out of the league. Because he was kicking all your asses.
Well, he'll be immortalized forever.
Yeah.
What a way
And
to
that
go
is our
out.
2021 Pop Fantasy Football Awards. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
Final thoughts from the champ, Commissioner Tito, on
As-
the 2021 season.
I'd like to be referred to as the champ going forward. Please.
You got it.
It's like a president. Once you're in, you're forever champ.
We're all champs here. Wait. Except for Mahoney.
Are we?
Mahoney's
Is
never
Mahoney
been a
the
champ.
Charles Barkley?
Mahoney's Charles Barkley, yes.
Listen,
Is he
I'm
fucking Charles Barkley?
champion enough.
Who has the most? Who's the Shaq?
Nice has 2. I have 2. How many do you have, Jose?
Jose has
Ooh,
2.
I have 2. We're all
So then-
combined. We become Shaq. And Kelly was Ernie, but he told everyone to fuck off.
Anyway, I always like to thank everybody for participating. It was a weird year, but it was always a fun year. Everybody's participation is key, and the fact that all 12 teams keep participating till the very last week means a lot to me, and it means a lot to the integrity of the league that we keep trying and putting forth effort, even if you're at the tail end there, because you're realizing that what you do affects somebody else at the top. So I greatly appreciate everybody doing that, and I appreciate Nice and Jose and Lee and the main Pop folks for allowing me to do this again for our 10th season. So
I mean,
thank you all very much.
Oh, how
We couldn't-
fitting.
we
Winning
couldn't
the
stop
10-year
you.
anniversary. I dig it.
We couldn't stop you if we wanted to, but thank you,
Watch
Tito.
out. I fucking hope this 10-year anniversary goes better than the last one we celebrated.
Oh, no.
You can't get fired from this one.
We're almost coming
We'll
up
see.
on the 10-year anniversary of that 10-year anniversary.
Oh my God. Fuck off. No way. We're old.
Old as fuck.
One other thing. Start thinking about any rules changes you might want to see in the
Yes,
league.
yes.
Any
I was
proposals?
thinking
I
of
keep
one,
hearing
Tito.
about.
Yeah.
I would
Start
like
thinking
a
about any
punter.
rules changes you want, and then pause, take a moment, think about what you're going to propose.
Read it
And
out
if-
loud.
Yeah, read
Loud.
it out loud. Maybe tell a friend, and if they're like, "That's the stupidest shit I've ever
Yeah.
heard," don't say it.
Yeah. And delete it. And then think if you should rewrite it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. Question real quick. I can't remember. Keepers, you're completely against them?
No, we could reconsider those.
Yeah,
The only problem with keepers,
it got voted down though.
yeah,
Well,
the
we
only
do it
problem with
every year
keepers in our
because you
league is
lose your
because
first round
you
draft
lose your first round pick. I can't set what round you lose
Because of how
just because of how ESPN operates.
ESPN
So if Matt wants to keep Jamar Chase,
that would
he
be
doesn't lose
first
his
round pick.
ninth round pick. He loses his first round pick.
Right.
ESPN, the global leader in sports.
This is what happens to us every year. We're like, who wants rules changes? And then people suggest 1,000 rules changes, and Tito's like, yeah, we can't do that. Yeah, the league doesn't allow that. Yeah, it doesn't do that. And then by the end, it's like, I don't know, move the trade deadline. Like, we run out of things to change. It's not.
I mean,
as
we
flexible as we'd like
changed.
it to be.
Yeah, we changed the divisions. That was just last year.
Yeah.
We changed some scoring. We moved the draft. We moved the trade deadline.
How are we re-divisioning?
Yeah, I'd be
What do we do
into
with
shuffling the
division?
divisions every year.
Every year,
Should we have Lee read some chicken bones?
of course.
The reason why I like leaving the division. This is my take, and obviously I'll go with what the league goes with. But the reason why I like leaving the divisions at least 2 or 3 years because it sets up rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like, do you think like the Jose Mahoney rivalry was born out of them playing each other twice a year for 3 years? At
Yeah.
least twice
I
a
don't
year.
even think
One
I've
of us
played
having to come out.
Have I
of-
played 3 years? I
Yeah.
think
This
this
is
might
your
have been
third
my
year.
third year. Yeah.
This is your 3rd year. So you played twice or more than twice a year for 2 years in a row.
Yeah, those wild times.
Well, I just want to say I'll have a rivalry with any of you.
that's right.
How often we play?
He said, "I don't give a fuck. Let's
We can
go.
play once. I'm still coming for you.
Yeah,
Y'all
I
win
will
every
hate you all
freaking
year.
game.
Let's do
Yeah,
this.
y'all don't realize it, but I secretly have a rivalry with everybody.
Right, exactly. Like, I don't need to be in your division. I don't want to lose to any of you.
All right, Mahoney, what are your final thoughts?
I don't know why I was not prepared for this. My final thoughts are, you know what? This is a great time, and I'll see you all at the draft.
You weren't having the most fun the tail end of this season because you were losing, but it is a good time.
It is a good time.
It sucks to lose.
Yeah, no
I would
shit.
rather lose and know that I'm out than like last season where I was like, there's still a possibility. You know? So, like, if I'm
I
going to
went from-
lose, just lose.
I was in first and then lost 7 of 8 games and tied the other one. What a fucking
That's
landslide.
pretty bad.
Yeah, that hurt. Football's stupid.
That's pretty terrible.
And final
Here's
thoughts
my
from
final thought. Jose had a terrible second half of the year.
Yeah.
your final thoughts, Jose.
Put this season out of your mind unless you're holding a belt.
Mhm.
Then fucking enjoy the off season, throw some trophies from some boats, fucking wear that belt proud, hold it high, take some pictures, enjoy the off season as the champ and into next season until someone else wins and you are no longer the champ.
I know it's still very early, but Tito, you don't have that belt yet, do you? We would have seen a picture.
No, yeah, you would have seen it.
You got tracking info?
No, I don't even have tracking info. I gave
It's
him
all
the
good.
job info. Like it's going there. So
New York
in
even
my-
accepting mail from California?
yes, we do. This is the
Is there
exception.
anybody healthy enough in New York to deliver mail?
That's probably what's taking it so long.
Amazing. All right, well, let's call it. Be
Good
sure to
show.
smash
Good
that.
season.
You don't want a final thought?
Oh, I thought you had done it already. My bad.
I did my final thought. Where's your final thought?
I don't
The
have
last-
thoughts.
You never had.
You don't get thoughts?
I don't have independent thoughts, just what's written in this Google Doc right now. So, that being said, my final thought is be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to Panels on Pages on YouTube at youtube.com/panelsonpages. You can listen to Pop Fantasy Football live every week, except for after this week, and then not for like 7 months. So, but all the archives are on there. Check it out. Chat with us. Check out the Panels on Pages podcast live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Download Pop Fantasy Football in your favorite podcast app. You can leave us a review on Spotify now. Get in there, give us 5 stars. It'll help the show. We appreciate it. Merch.PanelsOnPages.com for your Pop Fantasy Football designs. And Discord.PanelsOnPages.com for the Pop Discord join the discussion in the Pop Fantasy Football channel. And finally, since he did just pass away the last time we did a John Madden quote, I figure John Madden's more our generation. I don't know a fucking Vince Lombardi from a goddamn
Toaster Lombardi.
Lambo Joe, you know? So from henceforth, we're going to go with John Madden quotes to close the show out with. So
Love it.
we're going to leave you with some parting words from the late, great John Madden. The only yardstick for success our society has is being champion. No one remembers anything else. For Tito Cruz, Dan Mahoney, Jose Guzman, Kelly Harris, and myself, Jason Nyes, thanks for joining us for the Pop Fantasy Football 2021 Week 17 recap. Good luck to everyone in this league and beyond, and we'll see you next season.
ESPN, the global leader in sports. All things fuck.